And, well, there they are, the supporters of the respective schools. And for many of those boys, too, it's also maybe a last occasion for them. Although they're not playing, they're in matric. And Bishops with Jez McIntyre gets the game underway. Picked up by Robbie Wadilove. That scrum off for Rondebosch is Mark Thompson. He's got Jean Nordia outside him. One thing Mark Thompson does a fair bit of is kicking from the base of the scrum. He's a very, very experienced player. Jesse Walensky, a strong runner for Bishops too. It's a very good kick that. Clyde March having to go back and do some hard yards. But it's Bishops who have the ball at the moment and an opportunity for a charge up. They've got Big Sam Mitchell in the lock position. And again, just bringing the tight forwards into play. Jean-Pierre Smith and William Day, the two prop forwards for Bishops today. It's a pretty good start this from Bishops. And as I say that, I think they might have turned over possession. They certainly have now with a penalty to Rondebosch.
Yeah, Gavin, and we've got a glimpse there of what Bishops rugby is all about, keeping the ball, letting the ball do the work. Lots of passes put together, but fantastic defense also for the Rondebosch boys, finally managing to get that turnover. It was that Jamie King that got that initial turnover, and Bishops infringed. So first set piece of the game, Rondebosch line out. Jamie King does well, yeah, straight over the ball. Look at that, he manages to get it, and from then on it was turned over. And there's the boarding house we were talking about, Gavin.
Well, they're right in front of them, aren't they? So it's a good opportunity to do some shouting and carrying on. There's a lot of oranges doing the rounds there too. Not sure if they're all being eaten. Maybe they for half time. Good line out that from Rondebosch. Out from Jean Nordia and Jay Stevens. So Rondebosch with some quality possession. Standing off there was Thompson in the fly half position from his normal scrum half position. Those kicks we spoke about a little bit earlier. This one has gone a little too far. And Jesse Walensky was back there to make sure of the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm surprised he let that roll. That would have been an attacking scrum. Well, was scrum in a good position just outside the 22-meter line.
Behind. Get behind your kicker.
Well, you also see on the field the name of Tristan Lates. Dylan Lates, of course, his brother, also went to Bishops and was down plying his trade with the Western Force. This is JP Smith. Big fella, tight head. Oh, a long pass out from McIntyre. Bringing the backs in, here's Peterse. He's a big, strong runner, this fellow. Gerard Peterse, he plays often in the fullback position. Today he's at centre. That's a very neat pickup from Riley Lowe for Rondebosch from the fullback position. Good skills. Lovely pickup there too from Jamie King. So Rondebosch looking to try and take the fight to Bishops. A little bit more kicking from Rondebosch as one would have expected. Bishops, of course, always looking to try and run the ball where they can. Walensky onto Lates. There's some good hard running from the Bishops team when they have been in possession. So a little bit more position coming the way of Bishops at the moment.
Stop, White.
Shimmy, there we go. There was a kick from Bishops.
That's rare.
Yeah, quite rare. Good opportunity here for Clyde Marsh. And Rondebosch now in an attacking position. Very interesting in the centre positions, the respective schools. In fact, Rondebosch are playing with two men who actually applied their trade at number 8 for a portion of their career. Zane Davids and Jay Stevens. And for Bishops, Peterson, who we spoke about just now, alongside Brandon Salomo. Again, you can see the value of getting a tight forward into space. Valuable yardage that for Bishops. I must say, Jez McIntyre, who played Craven Week for Western Province, is a very talented player. That's an extremely good kick. It was into space. That could be deemed a high tackle. So Devon is just letting things continue.
It's outside, number 9, outside.
There's a lot of good continuity here. This is Jay Stevens. Oh, Bishops, rather Rondebosch, a little short of numbers out wide as Riley Lowe takes it in. Again, Bishops a little bit like Rondebosch, making sure of their tackles. Can some space be found out wide? You might see quite a lot of Zane Davids carrying the ball up at number 13 for Rondebosch. Again, it's the kick downfield. Well, I'll tell you what, territory is really important for both teams. So Jesse Walensky having to get a fair number of balls and do something with it. Now you'll see a fair bit of this man too. Saad Abrams, Mavana De Silva, two great runners with the ball. Oh, that's just a little foot in touch, so good continuity of play.
No, definitely. And what Rondebosch are probably making the mistake, Bishops have got 4 guys back the whole time. And Saud Abrams is one of them. He's probably one of the best players in the Bishops team. So he kicked down his throat. He's going to punish it. And Rondebosch here was some forced defense and assisted tackle, getting the player into touch. But Rondebosch running deep in their half. They just need to get that elusive line break or look for a short chip kick.
Throw in from Russell Eby, whose brother, in fact, also played last year at the hooker position in the first team. So the Ebys are hookers.
Stay.
The ball might have been touched, the kick from Mark Thompson. So back for it, Walensky. Excellent running from the left winger initially. But once again, the touchline's the victor.
Yeah, Gavin, and Schoolboys never the finished product there. So Jesse Walensky had late outside him. He should have got that pass away into the space. Instead, he runs up against the touchline. And as we know, the touchline, the best defender in the game. So being tackled out again.
Excellent line out that for Rondebosch. The catcher there was Jamie King. So just using the loose forwards too to come into play as far as lineouts are concerned. Both teams looking to use the width of the field. That's a great little run that from Riley Lowe. He's got through the initial tackle. Didn't have close in support.
Tackle and play.
Bishops might well have turned this over. No, they're going to have the put in at the scrum. He just got a little isolated there, did Riley Lowe.
Yeah, and it was a fantastic run here from Riley Lowe. Look at the leg drive from him. But from this position, already looking to get that offload away. Close, clean. But interesting, you know, you mentioned it, Kevin. Zane Davids, probably, well, I think the only Craven Week player in the Rondebosch team playing at outside centre. So if you got him there, you got to make sure you get the ball to him. An effective runner, you probably try to get the offload. And with a guy like Riley Lowe on his outside, there should be opportunities.
You're early white.
So angled scrumming there. You've got to scrum straight at schoolboy level as well as at senior level. Not from Jean Nordier. Jay Stevens trying to find a little bit of space, but he won't find it very easily against Gerard Pieterse. Taken up by Josh Emsley in the middle of the field. Good position this, but there's no problem with playing it. So Bishops have turned that over. That's good play, that in particular from Justin Rowe Roberts at scrum half. Well, interesting too, and I know statistics are one thing, Shimmy, is we have another look at this effort from Bishops. Statistics are one thing, but Bishops at the moment 26th in South Africa. Bishops, rather Rondebosch, are not in the top 50, and that's pretty unusual for them. But however, it's all about the game on the day, isn't it?
No, definitely. And you look at this Bishops team, I'm surprised they're 26th, considering the players they've got, Gavin. And I've watched a couple of the games. They're a really talented team. I just feel sometimes they just let the ball go too much. And, you know, we talk about this game, we look at number 26 and number 50, but when you're playing the top 10 schools, you're not going to run from your try line and score tries at the end. So they've probably lacked an imbalance in their game this year, this Bishops team. But then again, you know, you look at what comes today, and, you know, an upset could be expected here, considering Bishops won the first game comfortably.
Well, that's a turnover of possession again here for Bishops. Out to Jesse Walensky. He gets a little bit of space to work in. He can be very dangerous. So Lates with the ball back to Saad Abrams, and then the kick downfield from Jess McIntyre. But that's good refereeing that from Devon Ace. He's seen there's no real advantage, so he's going to give them the penalty.
Offside, the back line.
Rondebosch back line offside. Yeah, it's interesting too that we'll pick it up on that now.
And this was, I think, advantage has been played from that scrum. Looked like offside, probably off the second rack. But Gavin, just a good thing, you know, we've seen so much ball in play, but not a lot of handling errors, which is a testament to the skills of these young guys here. Even though, you know, you look at these teams and where they are in terms of these, well, these positions they've got with these ratings. The handling, I must say, has been pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to see. It absolutely is. So often we see games being stunted by poor handling. That ball's not in straight, so
option.
A decision here for Rondebosch. Do they want the scrum or the line out?
Line out.
Shimmy, I often wonder what you guys decide when it comes to that, because it's a forward's decision, isn't it? Even if the captain's in the back line.
No, well, if you're on top, you definitely want to scrum. But the Rondebosch line out has been going well. They've won all their balls, so probably the right decision, yeah.
Well, the line out this time not working so well as the commentators good. McIntyre thought he saw a little bit of space to move in. Oh, the long pass. Peterson going back infield. He'll be closely guarded today. This time brought down by Jay Stevens. Out from Roe Roberts. Again, Sam Mitchell. He's been very useful in the midfield. Often taking at least two guys to bring him down. He has a bit of space sought and found by Bishops, but a little bit like with Riley Lowe. They got somewhat isolated. Salamo. And eventually the pass going a little wide. Interesting, I was chatting to Bram van Straten, and he's been working with Bishops in the last couple of weeks. A very, very interesting discussion that we had in terms of rugby generally, but also schoolboy rugby and what's needed and what isn't. You know, you talk about balance, Shimmy, and the importance of times of having to kick or needing to kick, or tactically, you know, wanting to kick. And, well, Basil Bay, of course, who coached here for so many years, is a strong believer in keeping the ball in hand. But remember, the Springboks going to Argentina one year and also adopting a run-at-all-cost policy. And that was somewhat of a failure. So, again, the importance of balance. Here comes Peterson now. Walensky. Well, he might just have stepped into touch. Otherwise, that could well have been a try. The flag is up as Tristan Lates dots it down. But it'll not be a try.
Yeah, and Bishop starting to find space out wide. Walensky almost got that pass away. And this would have been a first try for Lates, the Bishops fullback.
Middle.
I'm not sure what the score was, or the scores were in your matches for the Rondebosch first team, but generally, it's the home wins have not worked that well. Since 2008, the away team has always won the matches. Shimmy, you don't want to tell me what your score was, do you?
No, we won. I played well in this derby game 4 times.
4 times, eh?
1 or 4.
Well played, chap. Yes, excellent running from Balakistan. So now, Rondebosch have some numbers, but they decide to plough it up with Zane Davids.
Release!
Might have had an opportunity to whistle it out wide. This is Byron Bowes. Good support coming from Ashwin Adams.
Let it come!
And Mark Thompson waiting for it. Nordia onto Davids. I think they're going to watch Zane Davids quite closely in the centre position.
And he's starting to come closer to the rack, so a loose forward in him still there.
That's good offload from Robbie Wadilab. Jay Stevens onto Ashwin Adams. There's a chance for them now, carried up there by Jamie King.
Ball is out, play on.
Now, can they break the deadlock here, Rondebosch? They might well be able to do that now. It's a clean catch from Clyde Marsh, and in he goes.
A fantastic play from the Rondebosch team. And key in that was Jamie King, the loose forward, getting around, but Clyde March gets over the try line. Fantastic move from Rondebosch, great hands. Ball into space after the line break, drawn pass, 2-1, and the winger finishes off beautifully.
Well, Shimmy, you spoke about the handling today. It's been exemplary, and certainly the passing too there from Riley Lowe.
Yeah, Gavin, just the desperation to know that there is space out wide, and look at that, the man is in space, he gets it out wide, and that is a fantastic try from the Rondebosch team.
So 4 out of 4 for you, Shimmy, eh?
Easily.
Oh, I didn't know that this was an easy game.
Will back that story up because I played in 2 of them with him. So,
Gabadi Bobo, of course, another Springbok that was at Rondebosch, along with Ian McCullum, Roy McCullum, Chris Pope, of course, Dion Kunigan, who played for Ireland and captained them, Dallin Stanford, who played for the USA in sevens. Distance not a problem. It's a straight kick. Outstanding that.
And you almost think Bishops have had the territory the whole game. This is one of the few opportunities Rondebosch have had. And this is a well-worked try. Fantastic passing and skills from the young men.
So a good start of the boot there for Jean Nordier. Both these brothers played for the first team too, but they played at Tartet prop and lock respectively. He's at fly off. How unusual is that? Lowe, Riley Lowe's making a nuisance of himself from the fullback position.
Yeah, and just the Bishops' defensive line isn't coming up fast enough. They've definitely got numbers on D, but no one's actually coming up to make a shoulder hit. So the whole time Rondebosch is just running at them, and if they just continue that, Bishops are going to be forced to make a lot of tackles.
Brandon Salamo just a little bemused by that decision. He's tight against the touchline, so not easy. Well, I tell you what, Riley Lowe, in executing that kick, just seems to be limping somewhat.
Yeah, we're going to play on.
Well, it's a day for shirt sleeves. All the girls are out.
They're going to play on.
In support of their boys, their potential boys. So a short line out called by Rondebosch. Russell Eby
keep moving wide
with the throw-in. Can he get this straight? The jumper there was in on Andrews. So Abrams, such a vital part of this Bishops mix. He hasn't really had a lot of ball. Again, you can see using the width of the field well here, Bishops with those long passes. Then you've got to hold on to the ball too. Here comes Davids. And he just bounces them off, and here's a chance for Malakassan. They're getting a lot of possession now, and they're using it well, and if they can use the width of the field, again, they've got numbers out wide. But the gap has closed somewhat. Still, here goes Clyde March. Back in field to Jay Stevens. And certainly the Rondebosch backs look full of running. It's because of good work that's been done by their forwards.
We need to show daylight.
That's also the turnover, but how good was Zane Davids there? Really looked to bump off a man, then the offload.
That player, daylight, no clear release.
Crucially, you know, for Bishops to come back or try to get a bit of momentum, guys like the Craven Week players, actually. Mavana Silva, Saud Abrams, you saw how dangerous. He needs to get his hand on the ball and start busting up there because they've got dangerous players, guys like Tristan Lates from the back end space are devastating. So Bishops just need the big players now to stand up because they're under a lot of pressure.
You could add Keaton Jacobs to that mix too on the right wing. He's an outstanding rugby player. It's such a good game in the June fixture between these two schools. Now Rondebosch need a good line out. They've got the jumper there in Jamie King. Here comes the drive, but they're going to be penalised for obstruction. Now, Robbie Wadilove has kicked that ball, and I tell you what, he's a little bit lucky because what referees are doing these days, they're giving yellow cards
you need to be 10
if you
meters
kick the
back.
ball or throw it away when a penalty's been given against your team.
Captain, 10 meters. 10 meters.
Might have been accidental. So downfield from Brandon Salama is a pretty good kick. I fancy that Bishops might be a little bit disappointed with the result on the scoreboard at the moment.
Definitely, they've done a lot of running, but you just got to look at the converted line breaks in terms of breaking the line but turning that into points. And it's pretty low at the moment. They're doing the right things and they'll keep on plugging away. Eventually those tries will come, but clean first phase needed first.
Well, the lineouts are not really going the way of the respective teams. John Nordia trying to find some space. But they are getting a lot of possession now, Rondebosch. They started off with perhaps a little less.
First player.
So opportunity here for Bishops. It's a very long
First
way
player
out.
on his feet.
So kicking at goal might be a bit tricky, but Gerard Peters has already got his hand up to ask Brandon Salomo to kick it out to touch.
It's a great kick.
He's got a very, very trustworthy left boot.
What's your middle?
So there we have it, the lineouts not 100% for the two teams. Important throw in for Justin Carey. Sam Mitchell does the run forward, but then it's the tap down. Bishop's just a little slow here as they look to get momentum. Peterson will find his way past Davids. Just haven't seen a lot yet of Saud Abrahams. He hasn't really come into play yet. JP Smith caught in possession there.
Hands out!
Now again, this is a good play from Bishops here. Walensky looking to try and keep the ball in field, but again, Bishops have got to look after their possession, particularly when they're in an attacking position.
Tackle only.
They haven't had a surfeit of it up to now. One thing I must say too, that Rondebosch haven't panicked when they've been in a defensive position. They've looked for opportunity.
Run away!
So once they get a good position, they might well look to kick it downfield. But most of it has been with ball in hand.
Rocks formed.
Well, they'll feel that they were winners there, Rondebosch.
Yeah, it's just building pressure through attack. But again, Gavin, the Bishops' defensive line needs to come up and make big hits, shoulder hits. Even on attack, they're not, there's a lot of passing, but no one's taking that advantage line on. So as soon as that defensive line becomes more aggressive, starts to get in the face of the Rondebosch attackers, they start getting results. But this is just building pressure through attack here. Eventually, all those ruck formed, all that attacking leads to a penalty.
Well, there you have it then. So possession pretty even between the two teams. And, Bishops dominating the territory just a little bit more. I must say, I thought it might have been a bit more strongly in Rondebosch's favour. Outside arm used by Bishops. They just seem to be a little bit hesitant with the ball coming out, not really going at full pace until the ball does come out wide, and Jesse Walensky's seen quite a lot of it. Keenan Jacobs very little. Part of the reason really, if you are moving the ball fairly slowly, the important thing is to make sure that you hold on to it. Roe Roberts into a little bit of space.
Not out.
A shortage of support for Bishops. De Silva.
That's better from Bishops there. That's better play, taking
That's
that line on.
Well, it's bringing those two men into play, really, De Silva and Abrahams. That's vital to their successes. Again, Shimmy, they get into a good position and they give it away. You can see the thumping of the ground there.
First
Just a carry from
okay, take him
Silva
off.
there shows.
Get him off.
But cleaners too late, or the Bishops cleaners, that Jacobs way too late on that clean. There needs to get underneath the Rondebosch defender and clean him out.
Where's Rondebosch struggling to get out of their own half of the field at the moment. They don't seem to be too perturbed about that. Bishops have a player down at the moment, which will be of some concern to them.
About 10.
So the Bishops boys in their ties, as is traditional. And the old boys it is. That's excellent layoff there, and then just a little basic error there. So Mitchell won't be happy with that.
I've been impressed with Sam Mitchell this season. Really got good ball skills for a big man. Does the donkey work also, and he's the go-to guy when Bishops a lot of the times with McIntyre run off 10. He drives it up and gets those power meters through the midfield.
So Bishops with just 14 men at the moment in action. So the injured player might be Keenan Jacobs down at the back. So they decide to use the area where there's no one policing. We've seen some strong running from Clyde March in this match. Found an awful amount of space there. Up to Jay Stevens. So the two number 8s are not doing too badly at 12 and 13 for Rondebosch. Here's the captain, Robbie Wadilove, on to Russell Eby. Stays on his feet, does Russell Eby. Knocked off the first tackler. Bishops have another man down. I think it's Brandon Salamo. So they don't have the numbers at the moment. Big Ashwin Adams saw an opportunity there. And unfortunately, Rondebosch have botched it.
Ball's out!
So Bishops with the opportunity, a quick take there from Justin Rowe Roberts. Now that's going to be another 10 meters.
Another 10.
Maybe even a yellow card.
10, kid, yeah. That's cynical. Get in the bin, that's cynical.
The word they use these days, Shimmy, is cynical, and you heard that from the lips of Devon Ace.
No, wait.
Yes, right there. That is pretty cynical right there. Looks like there's a Bishops player down, injured and back player there. Just a bit of spark needed from the Bishops player to get a nice opportunity.
Hou face uit tyd. Play on. Play on.
It's one of their key players, of course. Jean Nordier has got that yellow card. He's a try half. You don't really want to lose that man right now. Here comes Davids.
Run out!
Now, one thing Rondebosch have done pretty well in this game is use the width well. And here comes Clyde Marsh with another run and another try to the left winger.
With the hands are doing the job for Rondebosch, going down the short side. This time Clyde Marsh gets try number 2. And Rondebosch are starting to run them in slowly here. Well, look at the hands here, Gavin. Fantastic hands here again. It's a little flanker, Jamie King, out to Clyde Marsh. He's a big kid. And he's got a bit of toe in him also. Makes it easy for the kicker.
I think that speed off the mark is just so vital. That really gets you going. But as you say, good hands, Shami, and 100% right.
You need to get another kicker.
Rondebosch looking to deal with it pretty much as they would have expected from their opponents. Now the problem is Jean Nordier's the kicker. So
anyway, on me.
when you kick it now, it'll be Riley Lowe, who might not have the same reputation as Jean Nordier. He certainly is a goal kicker. And I just see Bishops have had to replace Keenan Jacobs. I think he's been taken off the field, so that's a real blow. I just saw him being helped off the field. Well, it's not a difficult effort that for Riley Lowe, who gets the additional 2 points. And as we move towards half-time, Rondebosch are very much in the truck.
No, definitely, but crucially, Bishops will not panic. You know, they've got that. They're one of those teams, Gav, that they've got the ability to come back from, you know, from basically from 20, 25 points down. They just need that opportunity to start converting their line breaks, and they can come back into this. But crucially, they need position. They're a position-based team.
Then from
and
white,
what Rondebosch have been smart is they're actually forcing Bishops to make a lot of tackles. Generally, it's Bishops doing all the running and Rondebosch tackling. This time, Rondebosch are doing all the running, and Bishops are being forced into defensive situation the whole time.
5 minutes.
You mentioned the handling, and the handling's been pretty good on both sides. One fancies that Bishops, when they've been close to the red zone like they are now, when they've had the possession, they've surrendered it perhaps a little bit too easily.
Okay.
With a wayward pass.
Shoulders above your hips. You stay clear of the shoulder on the back or side. That's where you bind. Get it higher.
Yeah, Gavin, and crucially, what Bishops do is they play the same way the whole time. When they get into that 22-meter area, the forwards have to come into play off 9, and that will create the overlap outside. Whereas they tend to go east-west the whole time in the 22, and that's why we see the wings getting tackled into touch a lot of times. You know, the forwards, Saud Abrams, Sam Mitchell, the big boys up front, Bester also need to come around the corner, play off 9, and create opportunities for the backs out wide.
Well, it's JP Smith who's been penalised at the scrum. Again, another example of Bishops being in an attacking position and not making it work. It's a pretty good kick there from Riley Lowe. He's had a very good first half as the fullback. Brought himself into play. Yes, his team's had a lot of possession, but he's helped to create that extra man you've been talking about.
Definitely, he's a good link man. He almost looks like a guy that, you know, with good inside backs, he can do a lot. You know, he beats his man one-on-one the whole time.
Well, it's not the greatest of ball from a line-out. Bounces favourably for Josh Emsley. Here's Balakistan. Had few opportunities on the right wing. Another man who's got blistering pace. Low. Of course, he's working his way into that back line because his fly half has a yellow card, and he's standing under the posts at the moment. Davids caught in possession there. Max Lindley part of the mix. Here's Balakistan. Well, the one thing you don't want to do is to run into one of the big boys, especially Saud Abrams. So Bishops, rather Rondebosch, looking for the quick offload on that occasion. Always good to see. That keeps the continuity going.
Ball's available, there it comes.
Gavin, Anna mentioned, you know, could be another opportunity here, but the Bishops' defensive line's not coming up hard enough. So Rondebosch could run like this all day, but there's no one actually coming up to make a big hit at all.
He's got his hands on the
They've
ball.
got numbers on defense. They can actually run and make big tackles also.
I get the feeling that their attack is a little bit like that too. They're not running at full pace.
It's got 3.
No, spot on. And you know, the big ball carriers, the guys that are there to make meters must do that. But Bishops definitely still in this game. I've seen them come back from 25-0 before, so not a team that will give up. As soon as they start putting those nice little passes together, and guys like Lates, their broken field runners, come into play, they can be incredibly dangerous.
Saw Riley Lowe just struggling a little bit there. Spoke about it earlier. Sheldon's Cornell Smith is onto the field as a replacement for Bishops. Now, the width of the field again. Here comes Peterson. Nearly through. It's a good offload. Here's Lates. Now, this boy's quick. And he has a real chance for Bishops. Can they finish it off? Yes, they can.
Well, that's the danger of Bishops rugby. Fantastic hand, just passing before contact or in contact. And Manuel gets the try. But how quick is Leighton's pace? Just saw the explosive power of the young Leighton right through the gap. Similar running style to his brother. Draw and pass. That's why you can never turn your back on this team. Really,
Got 1 minute.
those line breaks, once they start putting those passes together, can be incredibly dangerous.
Perhaps one of the things we saw there was Gerrit Peters once again getting a little bit over the advantage line, and that's creating the momentum for his team. Really, that's perhaps one of the reasons why they haven't been able to bring their big men into play. So Cornell Smith, who started on the replacement bench, will have this conversion attempt. Around about a half a minute to half time, so opportune effort there from them to score the try now for the conversion. And that's gone off wide.
was crucial. But again, just the basics are done so well from both these teams, letting the ball do the work, putting it into space. Gavin, we've certainly got our game on our hands this afternoon.
That's a pretty good kick in. Lots of pressure on Bishops. They've surrendered possession and knocked it forward. They'll look at half-time, Shimi, which will be pretty much now. In fact, there's the referee's whistle. And perhaps say to themselves, you know, guys, too many basic errors, and that's why we're behind. We're not getting over the advantage line, and all the things you mentioned a little bit earlier. So perhaps a surprise for some people, but an excellent first half for Rondebosch with the 2 tries to Clyde March, and the conversions from Nordia and Low. Half-time score then here at the Piley Rees Field at Bishops. Rondebosch 14, Bishops 5.